everybody. Hospitality, that is what we cover today. Our first topic is Airbnbs and BnBs, just the basic legalities of it. And then your second one, we're looking at the Consumer Protection Act, giving us, as consumers, the right to cancel reservations, bookings, or orders, and there's just a little bit of legalities about that. And then our third subject matter is tipping expectations. So if you're only interested in one of the subjects, please follow my timeline. You just click onto the subject matter that you want to hear about, and it will take you straight there. So let's get started. Hi everybody, we are looking at Airbnb and BnB legalities, the legalities thereof. So these two types of business are fairly easy to start up in South Africa. However, there are still some legalities that they need to adhere to. So let's just dive right into that. So our first one, the short-term host and guest hospitality relationship. So it is expected from both to respect each other's privacy. Therefore, even though there isn't any specific legislation pertaining to short-term hospitality in South Africa, the Rental Housing Act 50 of 1999 can be used as a guide to regulate this relationship between host and guest. The second one, permissions from your local municipality or authority. Before you start your business, you need to actually, in writing, apply to your local municipality to get their consent for this venture of yours. Estate living. So notably, body corporates and homeowner associations have their own set of rules and regulations, and their permission must be obtained before you start your venture. Then the bylaws and the necessary trade licenses and permits pertaining to your venture you will obtain from your local municipality. To formalize your venture, you will need to register your business with the Companies and Intellectual Property Commission, the CIPC. When it gets to signage, suburban advertising signage will need to comply with the local municipality bylaws. There is, however, if you go to this website, it's a PDF regarding outdoor advertising bylaws. It is a comprehensive and gives you all the rules and regulations, and that is basically what the municipalities follow. The last one, value added tax. Now, should your turnover exceed a certain amount, or you predict that it will exceed that certain amount in the next 12 consecutive months, you will need to register for VAT. So you consult for the SARS registration, go onto their website and look for that section where it says SARS VAT registration, and make sure that you remain compliant. Hi everybody. So this is where we talk about the Consumer Protection Act, Section 17, that gives us the right to cancel reservations, bookings, or orders. But when we cancel, can we get a refund? There are 4 different factors that will need to be considered for you to have the expectancy that you can get your money back. So let's look at it. So the first one, the character and description of the goods and services that were booked or reserved. Let's look at the cancellation length of notice period. So if the cancellation happens close or nearest to the date of reservation, the higher the cancellation fee. Number 3, the supplier's ability to find another consumer between the time of receiving your cancellation to the date and time of your reservation. Obviously, if there's 2 weeks, it's high season, yes, they can find another person to take the booking for sure. But the nearer we get to that reservation date, that might not be possible. Then the next one, the last one, the sector of industries, general practices. The one thing we need to always remember, the law likes to strike a balance. And in this case, the same thing. So Section 17, number 3, gives the supplier the right to require payment of a reasonable deposit in advance. And yes, they can impose a reasonable charge for cancellation. The Section 17, number 5, that gives us if there were hospitalization or the death of your consumer, then yes, you're exempt from these cancellation fees. Hi everybody, so let's look at tipping expectations. So tipping is not mandatory, but rather it is a show of appreciation for good service, and it's considered common courtesy. Even though it is that, it does support people in making a living, and it should never be considered a handout, but rather just a reward. So let's break it down to the different industry sectors, the different tipping values. So first one, the ride haul, this is your Ubers, Bolt. It is on the app, that tip, and it's usually 10 or 20% of the total fare. Formal or informal car guards, 5 to 10 rands. Petrol attendants, 5 to 20 rands. Waiters and waitresses, usually it is 10% of the bill. But if it is exceptional service and you are a massive crowd of 15 to 20 people and they did not forget one single dish and everybody had their food at the same time, water, and nobody was in need, yes, 15 to 20%. Hotel staff, 50 rands per day for the duration of your stay. Safari guides, 50 to 100 rands per person per day. Safari trackers, 20 to 50 rands per person per day. Spa and beauty professionals, 10 to 15% of the total bill. And the general rule of thumb, if you're unsure, it is 10% of the total bill.